from the deep, dark hollers of southeastern Kentucky, where the moonshine is strong, the stories are strange, and your neighbor is probably your cousin. This is Appalachia, not so quiet. Hey, welcome back everybody to the latest episode of Appalachia, Not So Quiet. I am your host, Hillbilly Phantom, and as always, I am joined by my lovely wife and co-host,
Appalachian Shade.
So Shade, my darling, we have a wonderful episode lined up. It's something we've been excited for.
You can say that, I guess.
For some time. We've talked about it quite a bit. We're like, we can't wait for this. Can't wait for this. Can't wait for this to happen. And it's happened.
I'm just going to have a lot of sleepless nights.
A lot of sleepless nights. Sorry.
A lot of hours in front of the computer. I know I'm going to spend.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of time, and we're going to start right now. We're going to start right here tonight. Does anybody know about the UFO Files?
We've been waiting on.
I'm sure a lot of you out there have been hearing a lot about these files. Well, they just dropped. So we have decided to record our raw reaction. We're going to kind of scroll through the files here. We're going to look at some stuff.
You definitely want to hear my reaction.
Poor Shade. She is sacrificing her sanity and her sleep to talk about aliens. So let's get right to it. Shade, I think you wanted to read the order, I guess, that Trump signed. Yeah. To direct the...
That way we kind of clarify everything, because people may listen to this later on in life, and who knows, it may not be true. Could be true. We don't really have the answers, so.
Right. That's kind of the point. The government is releasing these files and basically saying make up your own mind because we don't know either. We can't rely on them to really give us much information, obviously. But they supposedly are releasing all their classified UFO-related stuff.
Being as things I've experienced in my life, there is UAPs. I've never seen.
Yes.
I've never seen, the little green man or whatever, but I've seen UAPs, so those are real.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have both had our experiences of seeing strange things in the sky. So we don't even question that these things are real or not. We know that they're real, but exactly what they are, that's the real question.
Yeah. So the directive is in response to President Donald J. Trump's directive for transparency on the U.S. government's information regarding UAPs, the Department of War, with support from the offices of the Director of National Intelligence, is overseeing government-wide efforts to expeditiously find, review, identify, declassify, and publicly release unsolved UAP-related records and historical documents in the federal government's possession. This is an unprecedented historical undertaking that requires coordination between dozens of agencies and the review of tens of millions of records, many existing only on paper, spanning many decades. Given the scope of this task, the Department of War will be releasing new materials on a rolling basis as they are discovered and declassified, with tranches posted every few weeks. The materials archived here are unresolved cases, meaning the government is unable to make a definite determination on the nature of the observed phenomenon. This can occur for a variety of reasons, including a lack of significant data, and the Department of War welcomes the applications of private sector analysis. Information and experts. Department of War will continue to conduct separate reportings on resolved UAP cases, as mandated by statute. Under this administration, we will pursue the truth and share our findings with the American people.
Okay, so that is the directive. I guess that's more or less kind of like the statement that Pete Hegseth, our Secretary of War,
work with the president to release this to the people.
They are going to release all these. But right above the directive on the war.gov website, it has the Truth Social post that Donald J. Trump made. Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomenon UAP, and unidentified flying objects UFOs, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. So seems like Trump might be on board with the whole there's aliens out there, and here's what we know. We're going to satisfy the curiosity finally after all these years. Yes, we have been lying to you. Yes, we have been hiding things from you. And here they are.
And then our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth's response was the Department of War is in lockstep with President Trump to bring unprecedented transparency regarding our government's understanding of unidentified anomalous phenomenon. These files, hidden behind classifications, have long fueled justified speculation, and it's time the American people see it for themselves. This release of declassified documentation demonstrates the Trump administration's earnest commitment to unprecedented transparency. United States Secretary of War Pete Hegseth.
So there you go. I know a lot of people are speculating that this big release of, sudden release of UFO files came about because they want to distract us from all the other stuff going on. I mean, that might be true. There's a lot going on right now.
Well, Trump likes to entertain.
And yeah, I would say he probably does want to get everybody's mind off of some of the current things going on and live in alien land for a little while.
Instead of worried about paycheck to paycheck and the war going, well, not really war, but the stuff going on with Iran and gas prices and grocery prices.
Yeah, like I said, everything is just really crazy right now. And people are blaming it on all kinds of different things. I got my own opinions, but we won't go into that. We are here to talk about these released files. So these are very important because there have been people since the 50s saying, hey,
that we know of,
this stuff's going on. Government knows about it. I mean, I'm talking like former Air Force pilots and stuff. They're like, the government knows all about it. We told them all about it, all of our experiences. They're like, yeah, we know. Keep quiet. Shut up. Do not go around telling this story. Some of them didn't follow those orders. There are many former Air Force lieutenants and things that have told their stories, and they've been allowed to tell these stories, but they've also usually been followed up by the government is trying to kill me as well.
I mean, sometimes you just got to share your experiences, whether people believe you or not, and kind of get it out there. So if it were to happen again.
And it is surprising that the government didn't try to stop these people because, like I said, they were telling them, no, hush, shh, don't you talk about this. So it is quite surprising that they got the attention that they did. There were some people that did disappear.
Yeah.
And those are the ones you kind of have to be like, well, sounds like those people might have been telling the truth if the government made them disappear.
And then they say, too, that the reason that they are hiding it is maybe because us humans can't handle the truth of seeing what's out there. So to protect us, they were just trying to hide it, I guess.
Right. I guess maybe they fought against the conspiracy stuff. They tried to use their usual deflecting of weather balloons, swamp gas,
Right. They're practicing with new
types of flares or something, or
war aircrafts and things.
Yeah, new aircraft. Oh, that was ours.
Yeah,
but it was. Nobody can build
some
a
of the
ship
things that they're seeing is so advanced that we're not there yet.
Oh no, absolutely not.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, so these things are doing crazy stunts in the air.
It's nothing that any country can plausibly come up with.
Yeah, nothing that any human in the history of humanity has ever created. That's for sure.
So the first rollout is 161 files. I've not counted how many videos yet that they've released.
Yeah, there are. I mean, as soon as you go to the website, war.gov/UFO, you go there and there's just a big stream of photos flashing across your screen.
Mm.
So we're just going to sit here and kind of look through some of these photos. We'll go back. So these are supposedly things you mentioned it in the directive. They said it several times and they explained it. These are unsolved files, which means they were never able to explain them. Some things that were reported that originally seemed to be UFOs or whatever, eventually they were able to disprove or, in their classic sense, cover it up as swamp gas successfully. But these are the ones they never could explain away. They never had an answer for. They couldn't even create some kind of made up story for.
So, right off one of them that I see here, this was reported in Greece in October of 2023. I'm not really seeing anything on there other than this could be like a camera flare or this photo is being over edited, per se. So, if you pay attention to where the cross is there, it just
Yeah.
looks like it's an overly enhanced photograph.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not
It's all
seeing
digitized
anything.
looking.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that one doesn't have anything in it. I'm not
Well,
seeing
I'm not
anything.
exactly sure what they're considering the strange phenomenon. Is it these little tiny dots? You see there's like
Yeah.
all kinds of these little tiny dots, but I mean that could be snow, that could be
Right.
stars. I'm not exactly sure what their military operator report UAP near Greece flying straight above the ocean towards land. So we're looking down at the ocean. I guess it's probably this brighter one.
Mhm.
It's like right in the center of the picture down towards the bottom,
Yeah.
maybe an inch or so from the bottom. It's a really bright little dot. And I'm guessing all this is the land. That's the landmass, and this is all ocean. And these are clouds.
Yeah, and I'm skeptical of this one. Like I said, I've over edited a photo before and seen such
Yeah.
as this.
Yeah,
I'm
like I
not
said, that's just, I don't know.
I'm not really
It's hard to call that one anything.
yeah. Let's
Can we go back to the beginning?
sorry, I jumped
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, you did. You
I
jumped
was
ahead
just
on me. Okay. This was the very first one I saw as soon as I got on the website. Infrared still image, black hot, captured of identified object over Western United States in December of 2025. So yeah, if this is infrared, yeah, black in infrared, black is like the hottest anything can be.
right. So it definitely would have to be an orb
So,
or something.
yeah, that's like burning hot, way more than burning hot. I mean, that's like surface of the sun hot.
Well, and
You
this
know?
biblically, we go back to
Well,
some of our
yeah,
previous episodes talking about their
angels.
angels. So
Yes.
it talks about the closer they are to God, the hotter that they are. So
Well, yeah, could be. And some of these folks, we have seen some information from these files before we ever made it to them, because of course people started posting them all over Facebook
yeah,
as soon as they came out. And yeah, so we've seen a bunch, and there's one that, I mean, it straight up looks like an angel, man.
hmm
Like the classic biblical angel, like this big black star. It's crazy looking. But
so
anyway, we're just gonna hang on. Let's go through these photos.
I have a
We'll get to
question. I
that.
have a question about this
Okay.
because I've never looked at infrared from an airplane stance. So if let's say there was an airplane there, does it show up black or is this hotter than an airplane?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's hotter. I'm pretty sure, the thrust coming out of a jet engine probably isn't even that hot,
Yeah,
because that is, man, that's
that
serious heat.
yeah, that's what I'm wondering. All right.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm no expert on, thermodynamics and all this stuff. I'm definitely no expert on infrared FLIR, any of that. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to make of it. But I do know, I remember seeing an episode of Mythbusters where they're talking about the infrared camera, and they're saying black is the absolute, hottest.
Mhm.
That it's so hot that it can't even give it a color.
Or, I mean, would, let's say, a space shuttle look that hot?
Possibly,
Yeah.
maybe,
So,
because yeah, those are really hot. A lot of heat coming out of those. A lot of thrust.
like I said, I'm not saying all of these are not, but kind of.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the same object, right? Just closer.
Okay. Yeah. The next image is December 2025. So yeah, I'm guessing this is the same object.
But still,
and it's kind of closer.
but it just looks like a black.
Yeah, it's just a
permanent
black
mark.
dot.
Yeah,
like
marker
somebody
dot on there.
somebody dotted a Sharpie.
I wouldn't say this one's credible.
Well, I mean, but like I said, that's
I mean,
infrared.
it could, like I said, it could be, but to me, Sharpie marker dot.
I understand.
Because the other stuff that's declassified on the side matches the black that's on there. So.
Well, true. I'm guessing this is all information that was on the screen, like location,
right,
latitude, longitude, all that. So they had to cover all that up. I guess all that still has to stay classified, I suppose.
Right.
But the dot, if this is an infrared image and that's a black dot, then that should not be there because nothing should be burning that hot just down here out in the open air.
I mean, and this was just December.
Yeah, and this is December.
And it doesn't say; it just says Western United States. So is this Area 51?
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't know the
I see
exact.
mountains because that's not.
It does look mountainous. Yeah. And as you can see, the rest of the image, it's a black and white image, so you can't tell much. But obviously, it's lighter colored. It's a lighter gray, so that means it's cool. So that's all the ground and everything.
Right, and it just looks like there's trees.
And then there's this just black dot, just a black Sharpie dot.
Yeah.
Right there.
I'm kind of skeptical of this one too.
Okay, the next one is FBI photo B2, infrared still image black hot, captured of unidentified object over Western United States in September of 2025. Okay, so this one, we're a little bit closer to the mountains and it's way up there above the mountains. But again, it's just a little tiny black dot. But why would something that is so hot it shows up on infrared as black just be floating around in the sky? That just doesn't happen.
Could it be something on the lens of the camera?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. All right, the next image is the same event. Black dot.
That looks like a bee.
Well, this is a helicopter that is chasing after this thing. So look at the size of the helicopter, and it's still just this little pinprick dot. It's like the size of a person.
Okay.
Compared to that helicopter.
Yeah. So this is photo 87.
Of course, it could be a perspective thing, like that could be further away than the helicopter or something. But that is, that's definitely a helicopter chasing it. All right, next
these are better. These are better.
This is a different event. Yeah, there's two of them.
This is photo B18.
Yeah, there's two black dots right side by side, and they're not perfect circles. They look like little
looks like there's
Sharpie
like
dots.
A top and a bottom to them, like maybe like an actual top. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like a spinning top.
Right. And hey, some of the UFOs are described that way. Next image is same event. FBI photo B20. This is just the zoomed out. So no, this is two different images. B18, but it just looks like the zoomed in.
All right, but it still says Western States, September of 2020.
Right. Yeah, it's the same thing, but it's the same event.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're two different photos or it's the same photo, one's just zoomed in. I don't know. But it's still the same two little black dots?
No, it's different photos because they're using different gauges. You'll pay attention. This one's just like...
Oh, I got you. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So there are two different images. Two different cameras, maybe.
Right, it's giving you the distance.
Yeah.
Okay, this one.
All right. So this one straight up looks photoshopped.
It does. It looks like I could create
I mean, like a bad Photoshop, too. It's just that right in the center of the screen, it's like a big bright flash. And there's this big silver oval that looks like it's been pasted on by a kindergartner with Elmer's paste.
This is
onto the photo
in 2023.
Yeah, actual site photo with FBI lab rendered graphic overlay. Oh, so it is fake. Depicting corroborating eyewitness reports from September of 2023 of an apparent ellipsoid bronze metallic object materializing out of a bright light in the sky. 130 to 195 feet in length and disappearing instantaneously. So this is just one they created. They took a photo at the location, and with all the witnesses' description, apparently there was a lot of eyewitnesses.
So they just created this to kind of say this is what we saw.
This is the exact location, but they took all those eyewitness accounts and created.
Because it says composite sketch.
Right.
So, okay.
Yeah, composite. Yeah. 2024 composite sketch. Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting.
Is this
for me
on the moon?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a NASA photo from Apollo 17 in 1972. Archival imagery from the Apollo 17 mission to the moon. The yellow box, it's kind of up in the upper right hand corner, contains an enlarged area of the original photo in which 3 lights are visible above the lunar terrain. They were seeing lights, UAPs, UFOs on the moon back in the 60s and 70s, and they have kept it hidden.
Okay, so this kind of rings a bell with me. This is what I seen when I said we were leaving my
Really?
grandparents' house. There was
No way.
3 of those. Yes.
No way.
This is giving me chills. Like I'm about ready to cry.
Holy cow. So this is the pattern of lights
Yes.
that descended down over top
and
of your
there was
house?
3 sets of them. Yes. No, we were leaving my grandparents' house.
That followed you. Your
Yeah,
mom wanted to follow along
Right.
with
We
them and
were
stuff.
we were
Okay.
getting out onto 582.
So it looked like that. There was 3 of them that looked like that pattern.
Yes.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I hadn't seen this one. No.
I'll have to sing you a lullaby tonight.
Yeah, that is what I say. And this kind of also resembles the what I said looked like a drone as well that came.
Oh, that came down over your house. Yeah. That's the one I thought you were talking about.
That one too.
So it kind of looks like that too.
Yeah.
But you said that was small.
Right.
And this could be small. It's showing it out here.
Well, we don't
over top
we
the
don't know
lunar
the
surface.
Depth. Right. We don't know the depth.
Yeah, we don't know how far away exactly.
But I mean, like I said, that the other ones that I seen were bigger than what was, coming close to us in the yard.
Yeah.
These were, huge. These were like jet size.
That's cool.
Oh my God.
You good? You want to stop? You okay?
I'm good. I just got chills.
All right, let's go to the next one. Dow UAP PR-19 unresolved UAP report, Middle East, May of 2022. Still from a video that a U.S. military operator reported as featuring UAP flying across their screen. I'm not sure exactly what we're looking at. There's something weird there. I guess that's what they're talking about. It's just an elongated shadow, and it looks like maybe
there's some little dots there.
Yeah,
I can't really tell much about it.
Yeah, so that one's not too impressive because I'm not really sure exactly what. I'm guessing it's this. It has to be kind of. It's right in the center towards the bottom. It's a little elongated black shadow.
Yeah, like something scooting across there.
Yeah, and there's kind of a trail following. Yeah. It's weird,
like a chemtrail type thing.
Yeah. Okay. I don't like this one. It's just a square.
Yeah.
A black square right in the middle of the screen. Okay, wait. Unresolved UAP report, United Arab Emirates, October of 2023. Still from a video captured near the United Arab Emirates featuring reported UAP. I'm assuming it's probably this little light.
Yeah, I'm looking at the white on the left side.
There's a little white dot on the left side. I'm guessing that's the UAP, but there is a big, a little black square right in the middle.
Yeah, like that's redacted.
Right towards the middle of the screen. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. That could be anything.
But then
it's just a little white dot. It's kind of shiny looking. Okay, next image is just a big blurry. I don't know. U.S. military operator reported observing UAP flying just above the surface of the ocean, taking multiple 90-degree turns at high speed. I'm guessing this is a little tiny white dot down here towards the bottom.
And this is PR-34.
Yeah, not too impressive.
And it says unresolved UAP report.
Yeah.
And this was in Greece of October 2022.
It might be more impressive if it was a video showing it making these incredible 90-degree turns.
Yeah.
But as a still, it's just yeah.
And then this
is white dot.
This is the one we started out with that I'm not seeing anything other than I just feel like it's just an over.
No, this isn't the one we started out with.
Yeah, it is.
That's not.
Yes, it is.
This is.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the one we just looked at.
Oh, okay. So is it? No, it's 34. So this is 2 different images as well.
But it's the same area. It's Greece in October.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, next one. Oh my God, this is it.
Yeah.
So this is the
star.
Not the close up, but this is the angel looking one. It looks like a star, and it's got like a ring around the center of it. Mm-hmm. It is wild looking. Everybody needs to take a look at this one. We will definitely post this one.
Yeah. This is the PR-38 And this is Middle East 2013.
Yeah, still from a video featuring an 8-pointed area of contrast captured via infrared sensor. So this is something super hot, star shaped, with a circle around it. Incredibly similar to the description of angels, like we have talked about before.
Yeah.
You know, the ones with all the eyes, with the circles spinning around it and all that stuff. That's what that puts me in the mind of.
Sephorum?
Yeah, the Sephorum. That's crazy. Did they capture an angel? You know, a lot of people, I've even said, I think that aliens at least play some part in the end of days, that they are somehow allied, if not outright demons themselves. But there are also angels out there, as we have said. Could we be capturing both?
Right, I think we are. A lot of people's like, "Oh, there's demons." Well, there's demons and there's angels.
Yeah, they're both out there, and I think they're both around. And there may even be like the gray aliens. I know you hate those, but I mean, they could still be around too. I discussed with you something really strange about those creatures, but we could be capturing those that are actual, real, tangible creatures, but also demons and angels.
If I were to ever see a gray, you would see me going to full redneck mode and shooting hell off hinges of anything and everything that moves.
Well, I keep a shotgun nearby just for such occasions.
There's not enough ammo for me. Like I said,
I want you to be able to take down an alien if you have to. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is PR-43. U.S. military operator reported UAP while operating within African airspace. So this is way up there above the land. I'm not sure where the UAP is.
I want to think this one is also a video as well because there was like an orb or something other that moves across. We may have to go dig that out of the
Yeah, I'm
files.
not seeing, because you see the land, you see there's like a river running through here. There's a little town or something right here, houses and stuff. I don't see a UAP.
No.
Except this big black, I'm guessing that's just like the wing of the plane or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't see anything. Not impressed with that one, government. This is a little weird looking.
I see a dot.
PR-45, UAP in the southern United States.
2020.
This is getting close to home. This says unresolved UAP report Middle East 2020. And then it says in 2020, the U.S. Air Force reported UAP in the southern United States. So which is it?
Right.
Well, that's a little confusing. Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, we need to clarify on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll message the president, be like, we need clarification on PR-45.
Yeah, we can just personally message the president and say, hey, we need clarification on this.
Yeah, right. They want to be transparent. So
that's right. Exactly.
Let's do that.
So in this image, it's a little kind of blurry, digitized looking. It's probably infrared too, I guess.
PR-46 is where we're at. Yeah. Next one.
Okay, and I don't know, there's like a little digitized looking square up here, and there's kind of a halo effect circle kind of going around.
Like I said, that's just parts of the gauges.
I don't know. That's weird, but not sure exactly what to call that. Okay, the next one that's pretty good. That is PR-46. Indo-Pacific Command reported UAP that resembled a football-shaped body near Japan. That kind of looks like a blimp.
Yeah, could be like a weather balloon.
Yeah.
Look, I'm also I'm looking at it medical, like as something I've seen under the microscope.
What's that?
Like just a bacteria or something.
Oh, it looks like a germ.
I mean, it does. Maybe a drop of mercury on a slide. I don't know.
Okay.
It's hard for me to.
It's very weird looking. I can't decide if this is like squiggly or if this is just like they say, kind of a football shape. And these are kind of like fins or something sticking out of them. I don't know. It's weird looking. Definitely weird looking. That's far enough. That's a good one though. I mean, it's kind of blurry, but it's shiny and there's kind of a shadow on the underside of it.
It's definitely not something created on Earth.
I don't think so. I mean, it might kind of resemble a few things, but maybe like the space shuttle or something. But the space shuttle was not flying around in 2024. So, yeah, that's a strange one. That's a good one. I like that one.
I'm just seeing a white line on this one.
Yeah, this is a completely black image. Department of the Army 2026
But this one is completely black. There is a little tiny white line kind of to the right from the center, but directly in the center, yeah, there's like a little wavy. It's not as bright as the other object, but there is like some kind of little wavy line right in the center.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering if that's what it's focused on
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's
or if that's the
calling that.
gauges.
Yeah, I don't know if it's calling that the
Because usually gauges are straight lines if you paid attention to the other ones.
right, and that's directly in the little crosshairs of the image. Yeah, that's a weird one. But that other little light or whatever off to the upper right part.
This is
Interesting.
recently. This is 2026.
2026 Department of the Army.
Doesn't give us a specific month or day.
Okay, I guess that's it for the images.
There's more in the files that we'll be able to pull. So let's start on section 10, which is the first file that got posted.
Yeah, they've got all these files posted on here.
I think this first one was like 186 pages.
That's crazy.
So it's not very organized.
Yeah, you can download the entire file, but it has a quick little description of what is in that file. And it says case file includes investigative records, eyewitness testimonies, and public reports concerning unidentified flying objects and flying discs documented between June of 1947 and July of 1968. The records include high profile incident accounts, photographic evidence from sites like Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where the nuclear power plant is, and technical proposals regarding potential propulsion systems. Additional topics include convention programs, research accounts, and extensive media coverage from the period. This file is partially posted on FBI Vault with more redactions and some pages missing. Included here is the complete case file with several newly declassified pages and only minor redactions.
They started declassifying it May 24th of 2007.
Okay. Right off the bat, I mean, it has the envelope or whatever, has a picture of that the file was contained in, I suppose. But right off the bat, it has a letter from Mr. J. Edgar Hoover, director of the FBI. And it's to a Mrs. Dow, Florence C. Dow. Your letter of August 31st with enclosures has been received, and I appreciate the interest which prompted you to write. In response to your inquiry, this Bureau is strictly an investigative agency of federal government, and as such, neither makes evaluations nor draws conclusions as to the character or integrity of any organization, publication, or individual. I am sorry I cannot be of assistance to you. However, you may be sure your communication will be made a matter of record. And obviously, it was.
Yeah.
It's classified in the UFO files.
Dear sir, I'm a member of NICAP, and I'm very much interested in UFO flying saucers. Several weeks ago, a fellow employee received a letter from Arizona with a stamp on the back. See enclosed. Being interested in UFOs, I asked for the stamp and sent $3 for the 12 issues of AFSCA, American Flying Saucer Club of America. Having received and reading my first issue, I feel it isn't just what it appears on the surface. I can say just why, but with my limited idea of how communists operate, it strikes me it is backed by them. My reason for writing is that I consider myself a true American. I am told my ancestors go back to a great 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 grandmother who was an Indian squaw, and I'm proud of it. If by writing for this AFSCA report, my name could be in any way lined with the Communist Party, I would like to know if there is any way I can get things straightened out. I may be all wrong about the interpretation of this report, but I'd like to be sure since I will get the other issue as they come up. I will be 63 years old in a few days. My husband passed away in 4/30/65. I have worked as manager of Rain's department for the New Hampshire Insurance Company in Manchester, New Hampshire, 44 years this month. Miss Levi J. Dowell, Goffstown, New Hampshire. Very truly yours. And this was September 8th, 1966.
Yeah.
And then there's her handwritten one, so they must have typed it out.
Yeah. This is the actual
Mm.
letter, I suppose.
And then she attached copies of the
Yeah, she
magazine.
sent all these pages, photocopies, I guess, I don't know, of this magazine, Flying Saucer Magazine.
And I mean, you're a little skeptical when you're reading it as well, because you want to think it's like, what do they call it, like the National Enquirer or whatever. That's kind of
Right.
fake.
Yeah. Yeah, the fake news before all the news became fake news. But yeah, this was called Flying Saucers, Amalgamated Flying Saucer Clubs of America, Inc.
But there's stories in here from actual people, sightings and things that they have seen.
Yeah,
So
they've got pictures of a supposed UFO in Reno, Nevada in July. Yeah, they've got all these different stories.
back then, technology, camera wise, I would say it'd be hard to edit or crop or I don't know to make this look real.
Right. But I mean, they could. There were a lot of fakes, and some people have even shown how they made the fakes. There was one guy in England, he showed exactly, he was just gluing like pie plates together and throwing random stuff around them, making them look all shiny, and using fishing line to suspend them from a tree and just using the right angle to make them look like they were, flying above the mountain behind his house and stuff.
I don't do
They
that.
could fake them. But yeah, who knows? Those could very well be real photos. I don't understand. Like, I mean, I guess they just classified it because this woman sent a letter
Yeah.
talking
It's like,
about
well,
communism
we'll
and
research it
UFOs.
farther. But there was
Right.
also,
So I mean, this was already a matter of public record, all these stories and things in here. So I don't think they were trying to keep all that hidden.
right. But there was also the male Noel, he was a former Air Force lieutenant.
Yeah.
Flights that was reporting
That's, yeah,
that he had sightings.
that's what I was
So,
saying earlier is we've had all kinds of Air Force pilots and things come forward. Yeah. See, this is from back in the 60s. And this magazine had stories from people like that talking about these things. And I mean, this was sent to J. Edgar Hoover. And I would guess that things of that nature, a former serviceman talking about these things, if the government wanted to keep it quiet, they probably wouldn't use the FBI.
yeah.
Military industrial complex. So when you read through the story of what these aliens supposedly said, the aliens sound a whole heck of a lot like the hippies from those days
Yeah.
that were very anti-government, anti-establishment, and they embraced ideas like socialism and communism, things of that nature.
So yeah, I was a little skeptical of that, but I thought it was hilarious.
If you scroll on down through this magazine, they've even got some little cartoons.
Yeah.
and stuff. It's really cool. I love this one. It's got two guys sitting on a little hill. And there's a spaceship with its door open, and they're like sucking up something, a rock or something like that, and then zooming off. And the guy says the swamp gas is restless tonight.
Yeah. And then this statement here says our most common skin color is a little darker than yours. Although we have skin colors which vary, all of ours, as yours does all over the earth. Usually, however, we would look tan to you. We are not green, blue, or heliotrope, as has been suggested. So they're tan.
Okay.
That,
So,
am I alien?
you get a pretty dark tan.
I do.
So the aliens are like Hawaiian or something?
I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, that little section there is.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah, definitely
I
read
encourage
that.
everybody, go to war.gov/UFO and check
Yeah.
all this out for yourself. It's pretty interesting so far. I'm having fun just kind of looking through these.
It says even modern English has roots on other words. In conclusion, my message to you, may I say, people of Earth, open your minds and your hearts to the world around you. There's so much to learn, so much to be discovered. Don't waste precious hours on days in bigotry or ignorance and is senseless fighting and killing. To do so is truly a crime against nature and humanity.
That's where the hippie thing comes in.
You're right.
It sounds like a bunch of tree huggers to me.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on from the crazy stories of the magazine, on down here is another letter to FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, sent in October of 1966. And it says, Sir, for the past 20 years, the United States has been having an increase in its problem of the UFO or flying saucers, and nothing is being done about it, as it should be. The Air Force has maintained that the sightings have been gas, light, weather, etc. But by talking to some of the people that have seen UFOs, I'm wondering if the Air Force isn't lying. Gee, this guy is very perceptive.
Back then, you would have thought so, but we're still not as advanced as we are seeing.
Well, back then it was the 60s. There was a lot of trust in the government back then. And people were optimistic about the government, doing the right thing for them. But they really started to let them down on a whole lot of fronts. And this is one of them. Rather than maybe saying, yeah, it's something weird, we don't know what it is, or anything like that, they just tried to lie about it and make up explanations. I'm not the only one wondering this, for the people that I have talked to say that after the Michigan sightings and the others, they would not report it to the Air Force if they did see a UFO. So, yeah, they were losing trust completely on the UFO front as well. Reports say that even FBI agents have seen UFOs, and this has been denied by the Air Force. That's true as well. Like I said, they were always telling people, keep your mouth shut. The report recently about the police officer in Ohio or Pennsylvania having serious family trouble, as well as being ridiculed by people because of his sightings, along with a fellow police officer of a UFO. I see by this that the faith in our Air Force is beginning to decline. And if this is so, then we may be putting ourselves in the terrible position as did Nazi Germany in the 1930s. I wish to know if any agents have seen any UFOs. Sincerely, Paul L. Wright. So this guy's not saying, hey, I've seen UFOs, I know they're real. This guy's saying enough people that I know that aren't crazy have talked to me about their experiences with UFOs, that there's something to it, and you guys need to take it serious. There's something going on here. Yeah. But they never would. Maybe they finally are. Maybe. Releasing these files and talking about being more transparent when they do encounter these things. And I hope that's the truth. But you go through these files and you just realize how much they've lied to us and how much all these conspiracy theorists have been right all along.
Why does the government redact so much information from us? I understand hiding it from other countries and things like that. But
well, I mean, if it gets outside of the government, it gets out everywhere, especially with the internet. So I understand it. Okay. They're trying to protect certain secrets, certain classified information that they don't want everybody to know. I understand them. I'm on board with that. But this is something no government in the world knows what's going on here.
Right.
I think all of them should be saying, here's everything we know.
Yeah, here's what we've gathered.
Here's what we've got.
Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
Because they all seem to, have an interest in it. In space or anything, like in the sky.
Yeah, we don't need to be hiding this anymore. There's something going on out there. And believe it or not, this may be the only time this happens, but I'm going to quote Bill Maher, who said the other day when he was talking about the UFO file release, by this point, if you don't think there are UFOs flying around their skies, maybe you're the conspiracy theorist. And I think that's perfect because it's true.
Many reports throughout the world of UFOs since the date, and claims that 1965 was the year of the greatest number of UFO sightings and that these were observed by multiple witnesses.
So it was just the largest one at that time.
At that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because this is October 21st, 1966.
I got you.
UFOs are space vehicles sent to observe activities on Earth, and the Air Force, which is charged with the responsibility of investigating UFOs, has deliberately withheld information and given misleading explanations because it fears a mass panic by the public if the public were told the truth.
Yeah, that's always been kind of the going theory. The reason they won't tell us, they keep trying to pass it off as weather balloons and things, is they think we can't handle it.
So this is from a book.
Okay. And it talks in here about the objects being Zeppelin-shaped ships up to 300 feet long, disc-shaped objects ranging from a few feet in diameter to 100 feet. With many reported at about 30 feet. Egg-shaped objects, which according to the author are the ones most recently sighted. The objects move silently and attain fantastic speeds, yet can hover motionless in midair. They have been reported to land and to take off with great speed, usually with a burst of light from the underside, which in some cases has left the ground beneath them scorched.
So would you say that the object you and Eric seen over your house was at least 300 feet long?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Farther down, there's another article here. It's like talking about descriptions of it. It's like neon lamps, silvery cigar, flaming objects. Just what this is
Yeah,
what
all the
people say.
different, all the various types of UFOs that have been seen, or some of the various types. Silvery cigar, that one is reported a lot.
Mhm.
We talked about that in the 73 UFO flat. A lot of the UFOs seen were cigar shaped. And even one of the photos that we went through at the beginning, one of those was kind of cigar shaped.
And
The
here's
one that had the trail coming off the back.
and here's one like a description, and this throws people a lot too, because everybody's like, "Oh, that's just an airplane." This is Toledo, Ohio. Officials at a local airport received several calls from person who said they saw a glowing object that was red, green, and white. And now, like, all of our airplanes are flashing those colors. Here's one from Kentucky. This one says,
Oh, Kentucky.
a glowing blue thing exploded and then lit up the town like a giant flashing bulb. Sometimes the alleged sighting spilled over into the bizarre. A spaceship full of little men allegedly landed in a farmyard near Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Oh,
The little
God.
men glowed, and they were described as 3 feet tall,
Oh,
with
boy.
eyes like saucers and hands like claws.
Yeah, there you go. There's the Hopkinsville,
Mhm.
Kelly, Kentucky incident.
Yes.
There it is. I knew some of that
And
stuff
that's
would be
giving
in
me
there.
chills again when it's like knocking on our door. They can go to all these other states. Leave me alone. In
Stay out of Kentucky.
Yeah. There's nothing here. Promise. I'm more interested in what the government's feedback is on this. Are they just collecting people's sightings and
Yeah,
leaving it there?
I
or-
guess. Yeah, they've just been taking, because this file is filled with letters from people who were like, hey,
This is what I've seen.
this is what I've seen, or this is what I've been told is going on with UFOs. What are y'all doing about this? And most of the responses, here's another one from J. Edgar Hoover, December 19th, 1966. And he's responding to a letter that somebody wrote asking about UFOs. And he said, your letter was received, although I appreciate the motives prompting you to write me. Unidentified flying objects do not come within the scope of this Bureau's authority. I am, however, referring a copy of your letter to the Director of Special Investigations, the Inspector General, Department of the Air Force, Washington, D.C., whose agency has conducted related studies.
Yeah.
So he just kept, people kept sending stuff to the FBI, and he's like, we don't handle this.
Right.
But apparently some of them he did send on to the Air Force.
And his letter is very interesting. Dear sir, I've been police chief of Princeton, West Virginia for a number of years and have been a member of that department for 22. Sir, I mentioned the above that you will not think I'm an idiot is writing. You seemingly do not know or utterly disregard the following subject. I had hoped that you might make a statement before now on this subject. I have waited many years to see your opinion in print, but nothing of the sort has happened. I'm speaking of the UFOs or unidentified flying objects before long, and as a matter of time, you are going to be scooped, so to speak, on this subject. Sir, I happen to know they exist. I have personally seen 2 of them. One of those sightings under low cloud cover in daylight. I am not sure as to the cloud height. The other at perhaps 2,000 feet altitude, approximately 1 mile off. You may not be interested, but I think this is may be vital to the security of the United States. And if it is vital, I am sure that you are now familiar with and working on this problem. If I'm correct and these things do land, I am greatly concerned as to what kind of reception they might receive from the inhabitants of this country. I'm convinced after a great deal of thought that someone of your standing in this country should let the people know what is happening as regards to these things. P.S. If this is out of your time of duty, I'm sorry to bother you. John Thornton.
Yeah. So yet another letter.
Mhm.
I know this is happening. What are you doing about it? And Mr. Hoover has to just keep telling everybody, sorry, we don't handle this. And he hands it off to the Air Force. Well, some of them he did, not all of them.
So, there's tons and tons of sightings that they've collected from people over the years, it seems, in this very first file. And then they would get a letter back from Hoover saying,
Yeah, well, we don't handle this.
so I'm wondering what year that they handed it off to the Department of War. Why hand it off to the Department of War? We don't really know what it is.
Well, they would probably be the most equipped, I guess, to handle something like that because this is something flying around in the sky that an FBI agent isn't going to be able to handle that. Just driving around in his car, sees a flying object. He can't jump out and arrest them. So it would take the Air Force, some kind of military force, to combat these things or to even check them out, to go up there and just see what they're doing. You would have to have some kind of military craft. So you think people would understand, well, the FBI probably doesn't deal with that kind of stuff. You know, it's probably a military thing. So it seems like these letters should have been going like to the president or Secretary of Defense or Secretary of War, whatever you want to call them. Pentagon should have been going there. Now, here is a smart person. We need to look up this person. Okay. Judith Goodman. Apparently, when she was like 12 years old, wrote a letter to J. Edgar Hoover. I am doing my science fair project on UFOs. Could you please send me any and all information you have on this subject? I would also appreciate any information you may have as to how many planes we have lost chasing UFOs. Why has this information been kept a secret? Why is it important to national defense? Also, would you happen to know if any other something, there's a piece of paper stapled over this? I can't read it. Any other something besides ourselves have spotted UFOs in something, some kind of question. So this is some kid doing a science fair project. It's like, well, one way to get UFO information. Let's just send a letter to J. Edgar Hoover. And just ask. I'm guessing it didn't work.
Mr. Robinson, your letter of September 27th with enclosed has been received. Investigation of unidentified flying objects is not and never has been a matter that is within the investigation jurisdiction of the FBI. I can assure you the photograph you mentioned does not represent employees of this bureau. The photograph in question has previously come to the Bureau's attention and is known to have appeared in a publication in Europe concerning unidentified flying objects. A caption under the photograph alleges 2 FBI agents are leading a person from outer space down the street.
Holy cow. If that's true, that's a very small person. And they look naked, mostly. It looks like they might have some kind of underwear or something on. But it's, it just kind of looks like an old man. Looks like it could be Mike Pence or something.
Very muscular. Like skinny, but muscular.
Yeah, skinny, but well, I guess because he's skinny, very well defined. Yeah, you can almost make out his ribs or his abdomen. He's got his arms raised up in there. I thought it was just like a guy with his arms raised up in there at first, but now if you look off to either side of him, it looks like taller figures wearing like trench coats or something. And they're holding his hands. So if those are normal sized FBI agents, then that's a little tiny dude, about 2 feet tall, 2.5.
You scroll on past that one a little bit. There's an interesting letter here as well. It says United States Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Dallas, Texas, October 10th, 1967. A young white female who refused to give her name appeared at a Dallas FBI office on October the 9th, 1967. She was stated she is interested in unidentified flying objects and has received a quantity of information concerning beings from outer space. She stated she will not reveal her identity as she would feel like a fool if this information is not true. And that continues today. People think that you're stupid.
Right. Yeah, we mention that all the time. People think you're crazy. That's why a lot of people keep it to themselves.
She stated that if it's true, however, she will meet with interested officials and furnish all the information she has, provided that nothing is done to endanger her safety. She stated in July 1967 she met a being from another planet who had assumed earthly form. She gave her certain information, then was picked up and departed from the earth on August 21st, 1967. She stated she then received a message from non-earth unearthly sources in a manner she refused to discuss. She stated these sources told her of the following. An anti-missile was fired at a UFO over Africa on May 22nd, 1962, but the UFO was protected by its force field.
Force field.
A UFO was detected at 22,000 miles from Earth by radar about August 6, 1967. A UFO was detected over Antarctica on August 20th, 1967. A UFO was detected over the dew line in the past week and was shot down, and beings from outer space are trying to recover it. Informant would furnish no further details. She stated if this information is true, she will know other information. This document contains neither recommendations nor conclusions of the FBI. It is the property of the FBI and is loaned to your agency. It and its contents are not to be distributed outside our agency.
Very weird. Why would they say that?
Something I wanted to discuss on here is Chris Bledsoe. If nobody's heard of him, should definitely go read his book, UFO of God.
Very cool book. I'm not done with it completely yet.
Right,
I've
I'm
still
not
got
going
a
to
few
go.
chapters.
Right, I'm not going to go into details yet, but some of this information she's given kind of ties into some of the things that he discusses.
Yeah.
If you're wondering, his was just recently, like started in 2012. His first experiences and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Mhm.
Other people may have been having these same strange things, like
Right.
what he discusses in that book.
And way before he does. And the people
Yeah.
right now are still speculating. They're like, oh, he's crazy. These are demonic entities that are coming to visit him and things.
Yeah, and they're tricking him and all this.
Yeah. And his family's seeing it too. There's good and evil.
Yeah, I think there's both.
Yeah.
So this letter that you just read, or this report that you just read, is in the file like 4 times,
Yeah.
right in a row. I guess different agencies made copies, and it all ended up in here. I mean, this first file that we're looking through, I mean, this is the very first file.
Yeah.
We haven't even made it through it.
So,
We've been talking about it forever.
This is just, like I said, the first bits of information that they've collected.
I mean, it's just slapped full of these reports. People coming into the FBI offices, people sending letters and pictures to the FBI saying, look at this happened to me. What is this?
Yeah, so
what the heck is going
just
on?
Kind of developing on how they even research or investigate.
And J. Edgar Hoover, I mean, he don't know what to do. He's just like, we don't handle this. Here, Air Force, you take it.
Right. Like we don't know who's responsible for this. This is a new thing.
I'm sure they've been seen for, well, I know they have been. There's historical reports of UFOs going back centuries. But I think in the 40s, it really started picking up. People really started saying, hey, these things are flying around. We need to figure out what they are. And then the Roswell incident just threw everybody into a panic. It's like, oh, they're crashing on our planet now.
Dear sirs, there are currently rumors of over the grapevine and in print that suggest Oriental features wearing dark clothing going around terrorizing people who have had close-up views of UFOs. It's also rumored that creatures have impersonated armed force officials and FBI investigators. They're supposed to ride around in black or dark automobiles that either have old license tags or none at all. Several are reported to have attempted to run down witnesses of UFO sightings, silencing several investigators who were supposed to have learned some dark secrets about extraterrestrial crafts or mission plans, and opened mail, tapped telephones, and even taken pictures of several homes where UFO witnesses live. Can you give me any information on such rumors, or can you refer me to whose facilities can answer my questions? Personally, I'm not sure at all whether I can fully accept these rumors as facts. I need more information. Any information you supply can ease the worries of people who feel that the objects unknown they see in the sky may portend the visit of a mysterious visitor. P.S. If there's any other pamphlets covering the FBI's functions you feel I will need, please send them along.
So this guy's talking about the cover up after the fact, and we've discussed that before, the men in black showing up, and we talked about them, being kind of weird, robotic almost,
Mm.
alien-like. This guy's suggesting that maybe the aliens were pretending to be the agents. Maybe those were the Men in Black. That's why they were so weird. They were trying to cover their own tracks. It wasn't our government all along.
Here's one's from Mary Beth Meriton. I think that's what it says. Dear Mr. Hoover, I would please like your opinion on UFOs, whether or not you think they exist. He replied, says, I regret that I'm unable to comment as you requested in your letter of February 15th. The investigation of identified flying objects is not and has never been a matter that is within the investigation jurisdiction of the FBI. That's
As
it. Like,
always.
did all of his letters state
Yeah,
that?
almost every single letter that he replied to, that they have a copy of his reply, it's just like, hey, FBI doesn't handle this.
He's like, I can't comment on this. I can't comment on this.
Yeah, he must have got really tired of saying that over and over.
It must have been on auto pen.
Yeah.
Again, I can't tell you nothing.
Yeah, sorry. No information from the FBI.
People's been prying for years for answers of what's going on.
Right, and all this was sitting in the basement of the Department of Defense or whatever.
Oh, and we got some stuff about Project Blue Book in here. On August 17th, 1969, the Secretary of the Air Force announced the termination of Project Blue Book, the Air Force program from the
that's when they
investigation of
ended it.
UFOs. The decision of to discontinue UFO investigations was based on an evaluation, a report prepared by the University of Colorado. No UFO reported investigations and evaluations by the Air Force has ever given indication of threat to our national security. And there has been no evidence indicating that sighting characterized as unidentified or extraterrestrial vehicles. So, they're like,
Yeah.
nope, we didn't see nothing.
We don't know what it is. That's all they can keep saying.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes along with them finally releasing these files, is they're finally admitting, look, we don't know. So here you go. This is what we got, and make up your own mind, basically.
So that kind of concludes the very first file. Section 10.
Yeah, finally we are at the end of the first file. Obviously, we're going to have to do several episodes. Thought that we would kind of skim through a lot of it, but man, we didn't even make a dent. And they say that there's more coming. Like, this isn't even the good stuff, is what they're saying. But this is very interesting.
Yeah, the beginning, you know.
And this very first file, ends with Stanley Schneider of the Office of Science and Technology at the White House, who apparently called by telephone and contacted somebody here at the FBI. And it said, he contacted me today to inquire as to the Bureau's procedure for handling information received from the public or otherwise relating to the sightings of UFOs. And basically, he had to tell him, well, all we've been doing is saying we don't handle that. We'll hand it off to the Air Force. So the guy said, that's what I did. He just followed the FBI's playbook.
So I'm wondering,
did what they did.
I'm wondering now if we're handing it off to Space Force. It's all coming from the sky.
Yeah. The Space Force would probably be the first ones to see these things. Up close. Well, I mean, there's a lot of interesting photos. I mean, these old NASA photos from the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, when we were making these trips to the moon, they were getting pictures of these things. And they told the astronauts to shut up, be quiet. But like Buzz Aldrin went to his grave saying, we saw stuff up there. We saw lights and objects moving around. And none of the other astronauts would, corroborate. People would ask them, and they're like, I don't want to talk about it. So, I mean, that's pretty incredible. We're finally seeing these images that back up the fact that NASA has been hiding stuff from us as well. They've been seeing this stuff in space.
Now, look, the one picture we looked at, looked like a triangle with three.
Right. Yeah, from up on the moon.
And then going to what Chris Bledsoe sees, he sees three triangles.
Yeah, there's a lot of references to triangles in his story.
That just gives me chills because, like I said, it resonates with me.
And we talk about triangles. We talk about the Appalachian Triangle. We talk about everything coming back full triangle. Triangle is very important in the grand scheme of things. Somehow, the Egyptians, they knew this.
Yeah.
They built the pyramids, the triangle. There's all kinds of references to triangles throughout history.
Right.
Especially when it's related to unexplained phenomena, things we just don't understand. And I'm excited keep going through these files. We're
Yeah.
going to keep looking through them right now. We're
going to try to bounce back and
yeah,
forth.
we're going to try to
on-
find some of the really juicy stuff and pick it out to talk about later on.
Until we get done with these, we may have to pick up an extra episode a week.
Yeah, maybe. But there's a lot. Man, there's a lot to go through. So
y'all are going to like that. Get an
Yeah.
extra episode a week.
yeah, just to go through the UFO files.
Yeah.
There's just so much information. And like I said, this is just the first drop. They're saying that more is coming. And supposedly, the stuff we've got right now that they have released isn't the good stuff.
No, this is just the basic people reporting stuff over the years that they've kind of just pushed to the back burner.
And a lot of this first drop, a lot of it seems, I mean, there's some photos, there's some videos. A lot of what we just went through is just the first file. And it was mainly reports that were never really acted on, apparently. These were reports sent to the FBI, but the FBI doesn't handle that kind of stuff. So it got sent somewhere else. And then it just got buried in a closet.
And this is like, well, we don't know who should be over this. So
Yeah, they didn't know what to do. They had no idea. They knew the stuff was going on, but they just wanted to stay quiet about it, not talk about it. They just wanted it to go away.
we're still going to pick through these files that they have released and share with you the good stories and the hoaxes and things like that. That's probably in there that they've reported as well.
Yeah.
Because if you go back and look at these and to back in the 40s and 50s, things that reported match up with things that people are still seeing today.
Right.
So,
Yeah. A lot of these kind of have to believe because it's still happening. People are still seeing those exact same things. Now there's a few kooky things. They had the story from the magazine. I think they probably embellished and invented a lot of stuff just to, scare people.
Right.
Kind of.
I mean, sales, you got to get your sales up. So.
Exactly. It's just like a TV show. Whenever they do these alien TV shows, they always make it very theatrical, because they want viewers. They want to bring in as many viewers as they can. So they make it kind of over the top. So I'm sure they were doing that to sell magazines and things of that nature back in those days.
And then I'm looking at it this way as well. It's hard for the government to determine from who's actually telling the truth.
Yeah, I mean, there have been people that admitted, yeah, I just made it all up.
Yeah.
That maybe they did. Some people, maybe they didn't like the attention that it got them.
Yeah, and they just...
And so they quit talking about it and said it was made up.
Mm-hmm. There's also documents in there the government's telling them don't say anything.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that.
We'll get to those later on in the files. So.
Yeah, we talked about them, telling their own pilots and things. You didn't say nothing. Just keep it quiet. Yeah, there is a ton of it. And like I said, this is just the beginning. There's more coming.
Go back and listen to our Choirs of Angels episodes. There's 3 of them.
So yeah, absolutely.
First, second, and third choir. Go listen to those 3 episodes.
Yeah, go back and listen to some of our previous episodes where we have talked about aliens, where we have talked about angels. I mean, it's pretty incredible, especially the angel one. That one, I'm pretty convinced. The star-looking one, yeah. I think they captured an angel. Yeah. And also, like I said, check out some of our alien UFO episodes that we did because we talk about some of the craft that are also described in these files. Like you were saying, people are still describing some of the things that people seen. Well, I mean, some of our own personal stories. You tripped out over the triangle.
And I had never seen that photo before, ever. I didn't know it existed, the NASA photo.
Oh, yeah. Well, nobody did, except the people in the government, people at NASA. One of the big ones, the Phoenix Lights. A lot of those were described as triangle-shaped lights. So,
and another thing you can also, and I know I mentioned this earlier in the episode, is check out Chris Bledsoe's book.
Yeah, UFO
God, and that's gonna kind of tie some things in there as well.
I guess he kind of takes that same route. He thinks that these beings, they're not extraterrestrial; they're actually spiritual. And while we've never discussed demonic things or the possibility of some of these lights in the sky and things maybe possibly being demons, it could be all of them. And that's why there's so many different kinds of these lights and UFOs and things. But I encourage everybody out there to go, don't take all of your information on these files and everything. Don't take it all from us. Don't take it from everything you see on Facebook. Go look at it for yourselves. war.gov/UFO. Go check it out. Go read. Research. That's how you make up your mind about things. You don't let social media and podcasters and Hollywood elites, you don't let those people tell you what to think. Go research. Figure it out for yourself. But we're still going to be here talking about it. even if nobody's listening to us.
It's a very interesting read.
Yeah, we are just that interested in this kind of stuff, and we really want to dig into it. And we're probably going to have several more episodes.
Yeah, we're also going to share with you the hoax parts as well.
Yeah, there are files in there where they exposed hoaxes and things. So you'll get to hear all that too. Stay tuned. Be sure to keep checking in, keep listening. We're going to have many more fun, strange, cool things to talk about. Thank you so much for listening. You all are awesome. We have been climbing and climbing. I think we're around like 3,000 listens now. Man, it's just, it's insane. And you can find us everywhere. You find podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, YouTube.
And of course, follow us on Facebook and TikTok.
And sometimes X. And don't forget the website, notsoquiet.com. Get on over there and you will find links to all of our content. It'll take you to our TikToks or Facebooks, all that good stuff. And don't forget to check out Knotheads merch store. We got some really cool merch in there, some cool shirts, hoodies, and hats. We got cups, mugs. Yeah, we got it all, man. Go check it out. Hook yourself up with some Appalachian Not So Quiet merch. And don't forget to come back and listen to the next exciting episode. I am your host, Hillbilly Phantom.
And I'm Appalachian Shape.
And we'll catch you on the next one. Till then, watch out for them boogers.